7. Mistakes after 60 that are silently harming older men. Advice for elderly. A 72-year-old patient once shared with me, "Doc, I've been doing it the same way for 50 years, but lately something feels off." He wasn't ill, he wasn't taking any new medications, but what was subtly harming his body? Self-stimulation. It's not the action itself, but rather the manner in which it was being performed. He was completely unaware that it was negatively impacting his heart, his prostate, and even his capacity to experience sensations. I'm Dr. Olivia Carson, with over 60 years of experience dedicated to assisting men over 60 in preserving their strength, circulation, and confidence, free from shame, pills, or uncertainty. It's often considered beneficial, yet after the age of 60, certain personal practices may subtly turn detrimental, often without any noticeable indicators. In this video, I will discuss 7 common errors that older men often encounter during self-pleasure, along with solutions to address them before they impact your vitality, performance, or overall well-being. And error number 6 is the one nearly every man misjudges. Let's begin. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect moment to click that button and activate the notification bell, ensuring you stay updated with valuable insights designed for men over 60. If this video resonates with you, please leave a 1 in the comments. If it does not, please enter 0. Your insights are invaluable in enhancing the quality of the content I provide. Now let's examine the first mistake, which has become increasingly prevalent in recent years and yet quietly alters how your mind and body react to pleasure. Throughout my career, I've encountered numerous men, typically in their late 60s or early 70s, who sit before me with a shared, subtle worry. "I've been told that I don't seem to feel much anymore. It feels as though my body is losing sensation, and I'm uncertain about the cause." Frequently, I pose a straightforward inquiry to them. How frequently do you depend on adult content? And nearly every time, their gaze falls. Not due to embarrassment, but because they were unaware it could be causing harm. As individuals age past 60, the dopamine system in the brain, which plays a crucial role in pleasure and motivation, tends to lose some of its sharpness and flexibility compared to earlier years. Consuming a constant stream of fast-paced, intense adult material overwhelms your mind with stimulation beyond its natural capacity. When you engage in that behavior consistently, day after day, week after week, your mind adjusts in a detrimental manner. It starts to desensitize itself. This indicates that the genuine, organic connection you once cherished begins to diminish. The sensation of touch has changed. Your body may not react as swiftly. Even when you maintain physical health, the capacity for deep connection and genuine emotion can gradually fade away. It's truly unfortunate that numerous older men tend to hold themselves responsible. They believe that age has caused them to lose it. However, the reality is that it's not about age, it's excessive stimulation. If you fail to recalibrate your brain's response system, this type of numbness may persist for years or even decades. If you've observed a decrease in sensitivity, connection, or overall satisfaction, it's important not to overlook it. This initial error could very well be the underlying cause of everything. What's truly astonishing is that the next error isn't related to your viewing habits, but rather the setting in which you engage in it and how that atmosphere subtly impacts your health in ways that many men fail to anticipate. Error 2. Engaging in self-pleasure while seated on the commode. This may initially appear to be innocuous, perhaps even practical. Throughout my experience, I've had conversations with numerous older men who candidly share that the bathroom has transformed into their personal sanctuary. It's not solely about cleanliness, it's also about relief. It's a space of privacy where interruptions are absent, the door is secured, and familiar routines provide comfort. However, many are unaware that engaging in masturbation while seated, particularly on the toilet, can lead to more negative consequences than they might assume. With advancing age, maintaining proper circulation is crucial for overall health. Proper circulation is essential for maintaining optimal sexual health, supporting prostate function, and enhancing recovery following climax. However, remaining seated for long durations, particularly in that bent-over, constricted posture that many individuals adopt while using the restroom, limits circulation to the pelvic area. It exerts pressure on the prostate, constricts the pelvic floor, and discreetly harms the nerves that are already more delicate due to aging. The pattern has become quite evident to me. Men in their late 60s and 70s may experience symptoms such as swelling, post-urination dribbling, difficulty fully emptying the bladder, or groin discomfort, often without realizing the connection to this personal issue. But I can tell you, having reviewed the scans, heard the stories, and followed up on outcomes, this seemingly innocent position can set off a slow chain reaction that makes everything from intimacy to urination feel worse over time. The answer is straightforward. It's fundamentally about understanding. If this resonates with you, think about altering your surroundings. Take a stand. Relax. Allow your pelvic area the freedom to breathe and promote circulation. Believe me, your prostate is subtly urging you to ease up on the pressure. Prepare yourself, because the next mistake is even more astonishing. It's a common occurrence among many older men, often without their awareness, and it is subtly altering their physiology to diminish their capacity for enjoyment with each attempt to find pleasure. Error 3. Rushing the experience. One of the most common habits I observe in older men, particularly those who have endured years of stress, routine, or have simply adapted to a fast-paced and subdued approach, is the tendency to rush through the experience of self-pleasure. They approach it as if it were just another duty to fulfill, a fleeting experience to endure, rather than an opportunity to embrace completely. However, there is an issue at hand. Once you reach the age of 60, your body tends to struggle with stress, both physically and emotionally. I've had individuals express to me, "Doctor, I simply want to see this through. I can't afford to waste any time." However, when you hurry, you put your nervous system under stress. Your heart rate increases too rapidly. Blood vessels narrow. The relaxation and hormonal advantages of release, including oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, do not achieve their maximum effectiveness. You might experience pleasure, yet your body may not receive the full benefit. Rather than experiencing fulfillment, you find yourself feeling more hollow. Rather than feeling invigorated, you find yourself feeling exhausted. Unfortunately, this hurried approach conditions your body to perceive pleasure as quick, superficial, and lacking in connection. As time progresses, sensitivity may diminish. Arousal cannot be contained. You find it challenging to keep engagement with a partner. And throughout this time, you may believe it's merely a consequence of aging. However, that is not the case. It's the practice of immediacy. A practice that subtly deprives you of something much more significant than merely a brief moment of comfort. Take your time. Allow every moment to carry purpose. Your body retains the ability for profound sensations when you allow it the opportunity to experience them. Inhale deeply. Take a moment. The concept of a finish line has become obsolete. Just being there. And speaking of presence, many men are often unaware that they are overlooking a crucial group of muscles in the male anatomy, a concealed mechanism that governs aspects ranging from the potency of erections to the regulation of bladder function. That will be happening shortly. Once you grasp this, your entire perspective on sexual health may transform. Mistake 4. Overlooking the pelvic floor. Many men are unaware of its significance. The pelvic floor is indeed one of the most essential components of your body. Particularly after the age of 60. It's the essential support system for your bladder, prostate, and sexual organs. The underlying mechanism that drives functions ranging from sexual arousal to climax to bladder management. When this group of muscles is not properly maintained or is weakened, it can lead to a range of complications, subtly yet deeply. A man in his late 60s, a former athlete and proud father, came to me expressing concerns about a decline in his sexual performance. "Doctor," he said, "I am maintaining a healthy diet. I engage in physical activity. However, there seems to be a malfunction that needs addressing." What he failed to recognize was that his pelvic floor, which had been robust and active in his younger years, had become inactive. Years of prolonged sitting, coupled with the accumulation of stress in the lower abdomen, had resulted in a disconnection from that area of his body. And facing challenges, engaging in masturbation without activating your pelvic floor, or even worse, applying pressure by bearing down, can lead to excessive strain on your prostate and compromise the strength of the muscles that are meant to provide support. As time progresses, this results in leakage, dribbling, diminished erection quality, and a decrease in sensation during climax. It's a gradual process, not an immediate occurrence. It gradually manifests subtly as time passes. However, there is some positive information to share. Those muscles can be reactivated. Gently contracting the muscles used to control urination during arousal enhances awareness and strength. Over time, this straightforward practice can rejuvenate not just physical capabilities, but also self-assurance. And regarding confidence, an imbalance in activity levels in this area of your life can disrupt your entire system. You may find it intriguing that the frequency of self-exploration can significantly impact your overall well-being more than you might have previously understood. Let's delve into the reasons next. Error 5. Urinary frequency that is either excessive or insufficient. This is a topic that many older men are reluctant to discuss. Some individuals express concern about the frequency of their actions. Some individuals silently contemplate whether they have waited too long without addressing their needs. Amid feelings of embarrassment, uncertainty, and reliance on old guidance, many men over 60 find themselves navigating a solitary and ambiguous journey. In my experience, this is what I have observed. Both extremes can lead to negative consequences. When an individual engages in frequent masturbation, driven by habit, boredom, or unresolved emotions, their body may struggle to maintain balance. Energy levels decrease. Prostate tissue experiences irritation. With time, he might observe that recovery takes longer, or that his desire for genuine intimacy diminishes. It shifts from being driven by desire to becoming a matter of routine. That can lead to a decrease in nervous system function and a loss of energy. Conversely, there are men who cease entirely. It could be attributed to medication, health issues, feelings of religious guilt, or simply the perception that they have aged out of certain experiences. However, many fail to understand that the body, similar to any system, requires consistent circulation. Sexual arousal, even in the absence of climax, plays a crucial role in promoting blood circulation to the genitals, nourishing nerve endings, and sustaining erectile strength. When that is lacking for an extended period, atrophy occurs, desire diminishes. Suddenly, the opportunity for both physical and emotional connection starts to diminish unexpectedly. There isn't an ideal figure. For many men in their 60s, engaging in this activity 1 to 2 times a week with mindfulness and attention tends to be the ideal frequency. It enables the body to sustain circulation, rejuvenate hormonal balance, and preserve overall function without fatigue. Keep in mind, this isn't about regulations. It's essential to pay attention. As one matures, the body communicates in subtle ways. The essential aspect is developing the ability to listen attentively. Even when the frequency is appropriate, a prevalent error can still negate all the advancements made. Many men engage in this behavior naturally, often unaware of the potential harm it causes to their nerves and the alteration it brings to the shape of their anatomy. Allow me to demonstrate what that entails next. Error 6. Applying excessive pressure or force. This is a commonly neglected issue I encounter in older men, and it can be quite harmful. I've lost track of how many individuals have expressed this sentiment. Patients have expressed their frustrations and confusion to me, sharing sentiments such as, "I don't feel as much as I used to," or "It's taking more effort than ever." Often lurking behind those words is a common behavior that goes unnoticed, applying excessive pressure during self-exploration. I understand. As sensitivity diminishes over time, the instinctive reaction is to hold on more firmly, apply greater pressure, or attempt to regain that diminished sensation through increased intensity. However, it's important to recognize the messages your body is conveying. Coercion does not bring back sensation, it eliminates it. The nerves in that area are quite sensitive, particularly as you age into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Prolonged and intense pressure, excessive squeezing, or dependence on surfaces or objects that exert excessive force can result in significant physical harm. Tissue microtears. Reduction in elasticity. Scarring beneath the surface can lead to curvature, diminished blood flow, and discomfort during arousal. It's more than just discomfort. It has the potential to result in lasting alterations to your anatomy. This type of trauma stealthily takes away what is vital. It takes time to develop. It develops gradually. By the time you become aware of the change, the harm is frequently already in progress. However, there is an additional aspect to consider. When an individual perceives the need to struggle for enjoyment, they detach from the essence of that pleasure. It turns into a challenge rather than a process of recovery. This mental pattern can significantly influence the body's capacity to relax and accept. It's important to adopt a more considerate method. Your body warrants this attention. Your future self will express gratitude. And on the topic of disconnection, there's one last error that penetrates further than mere technique, reaching beyond the physical realm. It encompasses a deep sense of spirituality and emotion, and it is a frequent experience for many older men. It could potentially be the most harmful of all. Let's discuss this matter further. Error 7. Engaging in the act devoid of feelings, bonds, or purpose. This is the most overlooked error of all. and frequently the most distressing. It's not about the actions taken, the frequency, or the location. It's all about the sensations you experience during the process. As time passes, numerous older men may start to perceive self-pleasure as a mechanical act, a routine that feels empty and devoid of significance. It transforms into a serene refuge from solitude, or a monotonous routine performed absent-mindedly, devoid of feeling and purpose. I've had conversations with numerous men in their 60s, 70s, and older who express similar sentiments. It no longer feels the same as it once did. Honestly, I'm starting to question the point of my efforts. And the reality is, their bodies may still operate, but their passion isn't present. There is a lack of connection, absence of presence, and a void of warmth. The impact of that emotional distance is significant, affecting both mental and physical well-being. When the act of masturbation is separated from emotional connection, it conditions the nervous system to anticipate pleasure devoid of intention. You may still reach climax, but your brain and body do not produce the same restorative hormones. The absence of oxytocin can hinder mood enhancement, while a lack of dopamine may impede motivation levels. Instead, you find yourself with a feeling of emptiness, a mere echo of what the experience once was. Moreover, it emphasizes that enjoyment is an act pursued for the sake of enjoyment itself, in quietude, devoid of happiness. However, it doesn't have to remain that way. Even individual touch can be profound, intentional, and validating. This can be an opportunity to appreciate your evolving body, embracing it with thankfulness rather than embarrassment. Your body remains your own. It continues to resonate. It remains significant. Having examined all 7 errors, it's time to consolidate our findings. The true change starts when you learn to restore, to re-establish your strength, confidence, and vitality, regardless of your age. Let's discuss the next steps. Disregarding the broader context, your body continues to communicate its needs. If you've made it this far, I want to connect with you not just as a medical professional, but as someone who truly values the path you are navigating. Throughout the years, I have observed numerous admirable individuals facing their challenges quietly. Age is often cited as the culprit. They attribute it to time. Some individuals may even hold themselves responsible. However, the reality is that we often lack guidance on how to maintain our health as we grow older, particularly regarding intimacy, enjoyment, and relationships. You've just learned about the 7 most frequent errors that older men encounter regarding self-pleasure, and none of them stem from a lack of effort or understanding. They arise from routine, from years of adhering to methods that were once effective, often without recognizing that the body, much like life itself, evolves over time. Reduced circulation, heightened sensitivity in the prostate, a nervous system that can no longer endure pressure or disregard, and a heart that yearns not only for sensation, but also for significance. Allow me to clarify. There is no reason to feel embarrassed about self-exploration. There is no reason to feel embarrassed about pursuing comfort, relief, or even happiness through your own body. What turns perilous is when we cease to be vigilant, when we hurry, when we detach, when we presume that methods that were effective in the past will continue to be so. Every one of those errors, frequent use of adult content, inappropriate positions, hasty actions, overlooking the pelvic floor, excessive or insufficient activity, applying too much pressure, or engaging without genuine feeling, shares a common thread: separation. And that is the genuine concern. It's not about age or desire. Rather, it's the gradual decline in your relationship with your body, your pleasure, and your overall vitality. However, there is some positive information to share. There's still time. It certainly isn't. Your body continues to communicate with you, even if it's more subdued now, even if the response time is extended, even if the sensations have changed, it remains vibrant. It seeks your focus, your consideration, your regard. Similar to a vintage vehicle, it requires specialized care as it matures. However, that does not diminish its worth. In fact, in numerous respects, it enhances its significance. What are your current activities? Begin with manageable steps. Exercise more care. Practice greater awareness. Rediscover the intricacies of your anatomy. Embrace purpose, not routine. Embrace inquiry, not embarrassment. Cease the pursuit of performance and begin to appreciate sensation. Embrace the moments to breathe, to take a pause, and to truly feel. And above all, maintain your faith that a connection can still be found within yourself and with those around you. I've observed individuals in their 60s, 70s, and even early 80s transform their health, intimacy, and energy once they ceased viewing aging as a conclusion and began to see it as a transition. You have earned that change. It's time to reconnect with your feelings. It is essential to embrace a life filled with awareness, strength, and dignity, even in the most intimate aspects of your existence. Ultimately, this goes beyond merely steering clear of errors. It's about rediscovering the inner strength that remains within you. Rest assured, it remains intact. Now take what you've learned, apply it thoughtfully, and keep in mind, your best years are still ahead of you. Your choices will define how you navigate this next chapter of your life, with attention, with knowledge, and with honor. If this was beneficial for you, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with another individual who could use this information.